Can we balance the two? Because sometimes you feel that you are you are compromising, not compromising, but not giving enough time to your spirituality, and sometimes you feel like I'm not enjoying life. I feel like I'm not meeting people, or just worldly things. Like the conflict you have between worldly things and the spiritual life, how can we balance the two?
It is working yourself towards that. You know, I don't think so. One should become a sadhu and go into the jungles and mountains. And neither do I think that one should go and indulge oneself in everything in life. Again, that balance. There's a time, there's a beautiful movie of Peter Sellers, one of the few serious movies he made. What is the name of that? Being there. Being there. Okay. He's a very simple man. And he gets into an accident, and so the person is very rich, and he's scared that he'll get sued. So he just takes him to his house and says, "You stay here." And then he keeps on talking to him, and he gives very simple answers. We are so complicated in life that we want complicated answers. Something simple for us, we make it complicated. And everybody thinks that if this rich man has kept him in the house, he must be some person of repute. So everybody comes to him for advice. And he gives you very simple advices. So somebody asks him something, the President of America comes and asks him, "We are going through recession, what should we do?" And very simply, because he's a gardener. So he says there's a time to sow and there is a time to reap. And he ends it with that. Now, everybody starts taking out meanings from that. Everybody has his own concept of what was conveyed. And they think, what a man, that he's giving us such great truths. So, a balance is necessary. Life is not complicated, we make it complicated. Because we are copying others. We have been programmed today, all of us, we are programmed. Society has told us what is right and wrong. We don't know. But we go about what my parents taught me, what society has taught me, what society expects, what other people want. So I'm actually molding my life into their likes and dislikes. My individual identity is finished. So unless, how many of us actually, sometimes we enjoy going to a party, sometimes we don't. Every day you don't enjoy going to a party. So if you keep that balance there, we get forced into it. Now if you are in the partying crowd, then it means you must attend. If you don't attend theirs, they won't attend yours. And if somebody sort of goes on the side, everybody will point a finger at him, oh, he's antisocial. So it's not what they say, it's I have to live with myself. What is it that I like to do? If I like to party, go and party. But if I want a quiet atmosphere, I should be able to have that quiet atmosphere. There are days when you don't want to talk. And there are days when you feel the need for company, you feel the need to express yourself. So bring it from a point of understanding, taking everything to a logical conclusion, not molding yourself into the likes and dislikes of the people around you and the demands of society. We are today, we become actors. We are not living a natural life. We are not going with our gut feeling that, okay, let me do this. What will people say? They will always say something. So am I going to be so weak that I have to mold myself to their likes and dislikes? Then what is your individual identity? So that's the contradiction. On one side, we want to create an individual identity. On the other side, we are forced to a behavioral pattern which is dictated by society, not by our strengths and weaknesses.
Babaji, also about input and output, like you spoke about programming. How can we control the input of negative emotions?
Well,
or
if you are amongst
negativity?
positive people, you will get positive emotions. If you are among negative people, mind is very impressionable. You know, sometimes a child says, okay, I'm going to the party, I'm not going to drink. You know, it's like when you're talking to your parents, that I'm not going to do that. But when you are in the society of people like that, those impressions definitely create some grooves in your mind. No? If they are all doing it, if I have a sip, how does it make a difference? And that's from where it starts. First comes the thought registers, mind is not in our control, and that registered thought becomes an action. If I'm seeing a beautiful lady walking on the road, and I say, I'm not doing anything, I'm just sort of watching her, but what is happening? There's a thought being created in my mind. And if I let that thought come constantly in my mind, at some stage it is going to spur me into action. That is why the mystic said, don't let the thought also come into your mind. So if that impression is not there, the thought is not there, there's no question of action. But once I let that thought enter into my mind is not in my control. At some stage it's going to get channelized into action. And once it starts getting channelized, then I've lost control.
On these 5 weaknesses, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, on the path of spiritual progress, is Ahankar the last to go?
No, all of them are equal. All of them attack us with the same intensity. Now, some of us are able to control one, and that gives us a false sense that, oh, this I have sort of now taken care of, now let me focus on the two. But as you go further, that's the same thing that comes and pulls you back then. So you have to be on your watch at every moment for all of them. Don't ever get into that false thought that I've been able to control one or I've been able to control the second or third. Right till you don't go above mind and Maya, you are as susceptible to each of them. So you have to be cautious.
One more question. There are thousands and thousands of ways people try to achieve God. You know, there are rituals, there are thousands of places of worship. People follow gurus, masters, so on. Now, and it's all based on faith, because they have faith, that's why they go. Now, even if those turn out to be wrong ultimately for some reason, will that faith of that person see that person through?
See, firstly, in spirituality, nothing is right and nothing is wrong. Spirituality means creating a relationship with the divine, and that can't be wrong. Now, we all have our ways and means. You can start from nursery class, or you can start from KG, or you can start from the first class. Depends from where you are starting. These outward means are to create an environment. I would never say they are wrong. They have their own purpose in trying to create a conducive environment for us. But now if I'm going to sit in the first class all my life, and I want to go to college, will I be able to reach college? So these are steps in the way. But if I'm going to get stuck at a particular stage of my life and not move forward, I will never be able to reach my destination. So I would never say anything is wrong. These are stepping stones towards the destination.
But Babaji, people don't know any better. They think this is it. And their faith is,
Your faith,
100%.
no matter your guru or the person, your teacher or your master, no matter what he says and does, if you have your faith will take you forward. So he could be limited, or he could sort of have reached a particular stage. But if you have faith, your faith will definitely bear fruit, and it will definitely take you forward. And that is why we are all blessed, because we have faith. So our faith will definitely take us forward.